have to say, looking at or seeing everything that Alvin went through, I feel so bad. It must have been so freaking annoying because especially since we bought a house together, people always harass us about when are you getting engaged, when are you gonna pop the question, when are you gonna propose, when are you gonna get married. And as a man, knowing that you're working on the proposal and not being able to say anything, I would want to be like, shut the hell up. Like, I'm freaking working on it. Like, just mind your business. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nurse Nook. My name is Alexis Nicole and I make videos all about nursing, lifestyle, and wellness. Today we have a very special guest. This is Alvin's first time on my channel as my fiance. If you guys have not heard the news, we are engaged. A moment for the ring. Ooh, she is beautiful. We are engaged. I announced it on my Instagram. Make sure you go check it out. But I am so excited to talk about this story and everything that happened. So by the time this video goes up, we will have been engaged for a week now. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about how it happened, and then Alvin will give his backstory on all the planning stuff that he had to go into it. So we got engaged last week in New York City on a beautiful, beautiful rooftop. It was literally, y'all, the proposal of my dreams. I don't think I could have formulated a better plan if I had to dream it out myself. It was literally perfect, so beautiful. He had my best friends there, my closest cousins. It was literally like jaw-dropping. If you guys saw some of the pictures, you probably saw me like bawling. But as soon as I saw it, I could not help myself. I just started crying. So how it happened was he told me it was the last day of our vacation. So he told me that we were going out to a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a restaurant. So we pulled up, we were supposed to go to this like fancy restaurant. We pulled up to Soho in Manhattan, and it was just like some like, it looked like an apartment door. So if you know New York, there's like a lot of storefronts, and in between there's like random like apartment doors. So I had seen the place online before, and we pulled up and it was like an apartment door, and I was like, I don't think this is the right place. And Alvin is like, no, like this is it. And I was like, I'm just gonna take a back seat. Like, let him do his thing. He knows best. So he's like punching in codes and somebody buzzes him up. I'm like, what kind of restaurant is this? And so we get into the place and it's like kind of like a little bit older. It doesn't look like ugly or anything, but it doesn't look like a 5-star restaurant by any means.
It looked a little spooky.
It looked spooky. That's the perfect way to describe it. It was given a little spookiness. So we walk in and then we take this rickety elevator. I'm not even kidding you. This elevator is literally rickety. It looked like the Tower of Terror. And I was just like, I'm saying that because I don't really like elevators. So as we're going up, it's like, and I'm like, I just know this is not the place that we're supposed to be. And so from here on, I kid you not, it was legit like straight out of a freaking Hollywood movie. We get off the elevator and there's a lady there waiting for us. Mind you, there's nobody in this entire place. It's like a pretty large place. So we get off the elevator and it's just like a large, like small ballroom really. And there's just a lady waiting for us there. And she's like, you have reservations? And Alvin's like, mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay. And that's when I started like realizing like, okay, this is probably not the restaurant. Like there's somebody like just waiting there for us. He was like on cue, just like seamlessly guided us like to the stairs. And from there we walked up the stairs. And as we're walking up the stairs, I see like the door to the rooftop. So I see like the sunlight and I hear my favorite love song, which is Do for Love by Snow Allegra. And I feel like I immediately knew. And so I started getting like nervous. I had like a few steps to the top. I'm like, oh my God, is this what I think it is? And then we walked out and like turned the corner and I just saw I saw the New York City skyline, and right in front of that was like a big old like marry me sign with a huge heart covered in red rose petals, and there was just like an aisle and like candles, and I just like bawled my eyes out. It was so beautiful, you guys. I'm not even exaggerating. It was probably the most magical moment of my life. I have never felt more like special and more out of body. I told him, like, I don't, afterwards I'm like, did I even say yes? I don't remember. I was just, Alvin will tell you that my like hands were shaking when I was up there.
Oh, her hand was trembling.
Yeah, when he tried to like put the ring on my finger, he's like chasing me because I was just so overwhelmed with emotion. Like I've always like seen people get engaged, but to have it happen to you, like nothing can prepare you for like the overflow of emotions. And I'm not normally a super emotional person, so that took a lot out of me. But it was beautiful. I said yes, I guess. Alvin put the ring on, he got down on a knee, and then we hugged, we kissed, and then I turned, and then I noticed the photographer was there, and then behind the photographer, I see my best friend, and I say my best friends and cousins, but really my best friends, because my cousins are literally my best friends. They're my life. So I see my best friends, and I just, again, start bawling, because I'm like, what the heck? One of my cousins lives there in New York. We were there for a family party, and everyone else like flew in from Houston, California. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what are you guys doing here? And I was just bawling. Y'all, it was so magical. But I said yes. We had a beautiful night. We like took pictures. We walked down the street to like this beautiful Greek restaurant. It was just magical. And now we're back in Houston, and I'm a fiance. But Alvin can take it from here and tell you what it was like planning a proposal. I love hearing this stuff.
So, first of all, planning a proposal is stressful AF. I had to learn, first of all, what ring grading is. And so I had to find out the clarity, the color, what carats meant in a diamond, all this stuff. What is it? A year or two ago, I just basically asked her, hey, what kind of ring would you like? What is your ideal of the perfect ring? And so she sent me all these different ideas, and eventually she found this one, and she was like, oh, this is it. This is like my dream ring. I love this ring. This is all I want. And so basically I tucked that away, put it in my notes folder, and went to work some time later.
Yeah, and I have to butt in and say, I sent him this reel on Instagram, and I was like, this is my dream ring. You know, I'm a little dramatic, so I'm like, I would choose this ring out of like 1,000. Like, this is what I want. And he got literally an exact replica of the ring. Like, honestly, it looks even better than the ring that I had showed him. But it is to a T, like the little details, the hidden halos, like everything exactly was what I wanted.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Thank you. But yeah, so from there, it was basically trying to find out how did I want to pop the question. Starting off with first asking both of her parents, you know, hey, is it cool if I even asked this question? Both of them gave me the approval, which I was very grateful for. And from there, started brainstorming. And I mean, shout out to my friends, shout out to my coworkers, because it was basically the only thing I could really think about for a couple months. And so eventually I came to the conclusion, all right, let's do it in New York. She's from New York. Her family was out there. Boom, perfect place. From there, I wound up finding out that a proposal planner was a thing. And so I reached out to a couple of them and found out the one that I really wanted. And basically I talked to them consistently for a little bit. And from there, it was more so trying to keep everything hidden from her. And so
because I am a detective, I'm a sleuth.
Yeah.
And so he had a hard time trying to just hide things from me. Poor thing.
What? So it was more so talking to her cousin who lives in New York on the low, talking to the proposal planner secretly, and also hiding the ring at home because she gets into everything.
I'm like a toddler. So he said that as soon as he like got the ring, he basically like took it to his parents' house. And like they held on to it because he's like, she's probably gonna find it.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. So good thing he took it. So when would you say that you like started the process? So we got engaged in July. What month did you like start like the ring buying process?
Whew. So first of all, my dumb ass thought you could just walk into the ring store, tell them, oh yeah, I want this diamond on that ring, and they were gonna meet mom, and then I was gonna walk out with the ring, right?
That day.
No, I was looking at rings from the time that I started looking at rings to the time that I bought it. 3 months.
And then like another 2 months of like planning the proposal.
Another 2 months of planning the proposal and keeping everything hidden from her. From there,
I have to say, looking at or seeing everything that Alvin went through, I feel so bad. It must have been so freaking annoying because especially since we bought a house together, people always harass us about when are you getting engaged, when are you gonna pop the question, when are you gonna propose, when are you gonna get married. And as a man, knowing that you're working on the proposal and not being able to say anything, I would want to be like, shut the hell up. Like, I'm freaking working on it. Like, just mind your business. But that's something that used to get on my nerves. I used to hate people ask that, and I wasn't even planning anything. So now looking back, knowing that he was planning all of that and people were still like, I'm like, you are better than me, because I would have been so annoyed with everybody. So I think a reason why it wasn't like suspicious at all is because we were already going to be in New York for my aunt's retirement party. So he thought that was like a perfect opportunity. But me, I'm like, we're going to New York for a vacation to see my family, you know, like not thinking anything. Well, first I will say I was so impressed, like after the fact, like learning everything that went into the planning, I was so impressed that this man had a proposal planner. Like, I didn't even know that existed, and just like knowing that he went through all the trouble to like do all of this stuff for me, it was so sweet. And like, I'm still like super giddy and like on cloud nine, but like the first day I was like, oh my gosh, I was just so like beside myself. Like, can't believe we're engaged. Like, that means we have to get married. This is so weird. Like, we have a house together, we have a dog together, our lives have been mushed together for like the past 4 years, and I know that I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, but now that we're like, you know, actually like took a step forward, it's like, oh my gosh, like you must really like me. Oh, one funny point that I want you to talk about, because I am always on to everything. I am that one person that you really cannot get anything past. So he went through great lengths. Tell them about like the blazer and like what you hid the ring in New York.
So what I did was I said, hey, we have reservations at this very fancy restaurant in New York. And what is it? You get an email from, I think, Open Table every time you make a reservation for some of the restaurants. And so what I did was I copied the email and I pasted it in a new email that I created. And I edited the address to the location of the proposal. And then from there at the bottom, I put men must wear blazers and button-up shirts, which some restaurants that is the case, but for this restaurant it was not. But I kind of went out of my way to show her the email and say, hey, this is where it's located, this is where it is compared to our hotel, and it looks like men have to wear a blazer. That way I could kind of throw her off with my sense. Because I was talking to my mom back and forth about it, and I was like, yeah, it's like, if I wear a blazer, like, it's gonna be obvious. And she was like, you need to wear one. One, because it's formal and proper, but two, how you gonna hide that big ass box? And so I was like, she has a point. And so I went ahead, put that in there, and I saw her read it, and she was like, okay, like, looks like you need to pack a blazer then. At that moment, I was like, got your butt. And so me and my mom actually worked together to come up with the plan. My dad actually helped too. But what we did was we took an anti-diarrhea box. Like, it was like a rectangular Lamodo box, and we took out the medicine and we put in the ring and we glued it shut, closed it up. I took it home and I put it in my toiletries bag. From there, just took it all the way to New York. I had it in my toiletries bag, and I just made sure she wasn't like digging around in there, which normally she wouldn't. And basically, what is it? the day of, I was like, hey, like, give me a minute. I need to use the restroom. Went, popped the box open in the blazer, and snuck it out.
Yeah, I was so impressed with how well he hid everything because I catch on to everything. So there was a time where I was like a little suspicious that something might happen in New York. And I was talking to my best friend about it, and then my best friend went and relayed the information to him. So he's like, bet, like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to throw her off. And they threw me so far off that I just ended up getting disappointed because I'm like, damn, it's never gonna happen. It's funny because literally 2 days before he proposed, we were in Brooklyn walking around when we were in New York, and we walked up on a engagement ring store, and I was like, oh look, this is like the engagement ring store I was looking at rings at. And he's like, oh, you want to go in? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so we're trying on rings, and afterwards he's like, oh yeah, like we should go back whenever, like, to make sure that you find one that you like. I think we should try it on. And I was like, no, please. So I was like, it's gonna be forever. I was like, I trust you. Just get whatever. And then later on that night we went to dinner. He talked about it again. He was like, oh, I think, you know, the winter months are a little bit more romantic to propose. I'm like, no, please, any month works, I promise. Y'all, I was so like sad at the end of it because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna move on from here. Like, it's gonna happen one day, I know, so let me just like enjoy my life. Little did I know, like in 2 days we would be engaged. But that is really our story. It was super magical. Literally, I could not have come up with anything better. It was probably the happiest moment of my life. It was everything. I keep catching the ring out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, I'm engaged. Literally everything I've been doing, I've been like cooking. I was like, my first time cooking engaged. I'm like walking the dog, like my first time walking the dog engaged. I'm obsessed with it. There is nothing that can prepare you to how like good it feels to like have your man like do all that for you and have a symbol of like your love and wanting to take that next step with you. It really is so beautiful, and I'm so grateful. I have such an amazing fiance that did all of that for me. I honestly cannot express like my gratitude enough. It is mind-blowing and such a beautiful thing. We have no idea when the wedding is going to be, so don't even ask. We're just enjoying engagement for now on, but yeah, we're so happy. Woo! Thanks for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.